the Rebbe says, Yidden's in Hechef. One level the Rebbe says that Yidden are higher than the world is Legamre Hechef and Welt. Yidden are completely beyond Kadma La'olam, and that the Iker applies to Nishmas Yisrael. To Nishmas Yisrael, ganzen Hechef and Welt. But that's not what Rashi means when Rashi says Bereishus B'shul HaTorah B'shul Yisrael. Bereishus B'shul HaTorah B'shul Yisrael means that within the world itself, as creation is creation, that means as Yidden enter into the world, they are the cornerstone of creation. They are the Even HaShasiyah from the entire world, the purpose of all of creation and all the world. And the Rebbe goes on to say that that is not so much the neshama, that's the guf. That has to do with vanu b'charta. In other words, wie the Yid is a chelik from Welt. Our physical bodies is made up of the same substances of we're physical matter, just like everybody else. And over there, the Eibishter says, this is man chelik. Reishis tfuasoi. Zeizen in the beginning of Matzak. I gave the marshal that like a farmer who has a business farm. And he sells whatever. He has his farm and he sells. He has a whole business. But then he and his wife go out in the farm with a basket and they pick corn, which they're going to take home for their own personal barbecue. This is not for the farm. This is not for the business. This is their tomatoes that they're taking for themselves. And the Rebbe says they're gufen dafka. And now here's the chiddush the Rebbe says. He brings the Alter Rebbe's word, where the Alter Rebbe says, in Tanya, the Alter Rebbe uses the term Vanu Bacharta, Paperik Memtes. Vanu Bacharta is referring to the guf. The Alter Rebbe brings Hanidbe Guf HaChumri, Hanidme Bechumri Yusai, Legufai. The Rebbe says, why doesn't it say Guf HaGashmi, Hanidme Begashmi Yusai? Why is the Alter Rebbe suddenly speaking about the guf in such grubber terms? Hanidme Bechumri Yusai. Speak. So the Rebbe says, because the bechira that the Eibishter is being boichen in a Yiddish guf is not the guf gashmi from a Yid. Dafke the guf chumri from a Yid. What does that mean? Guf gashmi means once the guf vet oiske edelt, you eat kosher, a person is born out metaris amishpacha, and you do mitzvahs, you put on tefillin on the guf. This is almost the guf, that the guf is no more chumri, it's geshem. The Alter Rebbe is saying that the Eibishter chose the Jewish body when the Jewish body is at its lowest point. Mamish the same like a goy. There's no difference in that body. It's mamish as chumri as a goyish. And over there, the Eibishter chose this chumrius, and he says this is where I identify with. And as I said, the Rebbe says, and when we have bechira is bechira sa'atzmas. So in the chumrius of a Jewish body, after the Eibishter sich hereingestellt, B'chiras Ha'atzmus, hecher afilif in the neshama. And the Rebbe says, this is what ultimately has to be felt in the world, and the goy davissen, the entire world has to know that the Eibishter was boich, that his chelik in the world is the Jewish body, and Yidden, Torah and Mitzvahs and Yidden, and their shleimus comes through the shleimus of Yidden. Now the Rebbe adds another nekudah. Where is it? How is it nizgala in the Welt that the Eibishter was boicher a Jewish body? Gufei Yisrael. Wie is this nizgala in the Welt? This that the Eibishter gave Yidden Eretz Yisrael. As the Eibishter gave Yidden Eretz Yisrael, and b'mazem is bata. The French also have a land. The Brazilians have a land. Everybody has a land. Taste just because Yidden have a land. No, because our land is different than everybody's land. Everybody's land was l'chatchila given to them. Or it goes through the natural process of Seder Olam, of kibush, that different countries are kovish different lands. Over here, the Eibishter gave the land first to the Canaanim. Or if it gave them, whatever, Rashi's Lashon. But it's then the Eibishter did something that he never ever did. But he went and he took it away from them and he gave it to Yidden. That the Eibishter never did. And with this, the Eibishter shows his chelik in this world, that he's identifying with Yidden. He's choosing Yidden as his, and again, the choice of Yidden on the Jewish bodies. This is the Rebbe's Nakuda that he explains. And he says, this Inyan darf nicht kabel werden in Welt. He says, in general, through the time of Galus, Yidden were not, in other words, mashma from the Sikha, that this was not something that was so niskabel b'yolam. There was obviously Goyim hated Yidden and made tzaddas for Yidden and so on and so forth. But as we get closer to Yemoisa Mashiach, especially through the avodah of Gedolei Yisrael, the Rebbe says, and the avodah of Nesiei Chabad, beginning from the Alter Rebbe with Napoleon, was gearbeit mit Umoisa Olam. So it started making that Umoisa Olam's attitude towards Yidden change. Ad Kedei Kach, the Rebbe says, take a look at America, that America is so supportive of Yidden and helping Yidden. And it was their makir that Yidden are the chosen people, and that the bracha of Yidden is the bracha of the entire world. Take a look at all the evangelicals who say it, and everybody, that millions of people who believe, you see that? And then the Rebbe says, and even in Russia, they're starting to head of this, and they're trying to be assisting Yidden, and so on and so forth. So why did I suddenly get the chills when I was learning it? Is because, what happened last week was an assault on Yidden and Eretz Yisrael, not on Yidden Shomer Torah mitzvahs. It was, you watch the festival over there. It was not a festival that in any way, it could, in Lahavdil Elef Avdalos, it could have been in Spain, it could have been in France, it could have been in Germany. But they knew very well, Hamas knew very well who they're attacking. They're attacking Atzmos and Mahus Mamish when they attacked Jewish Gufim. And what they wanted was dafka mutilation. It wasn't stam killing people. It was dafka to shame bodies. It was dafka to bring a hashpala to Yidden. So you see that this is Mamish, the war that's playing itself out, Mamish against Atzmos, against the Eibishter's chelik in this world. And for the rest of the world, it's like, if you side with Hamas means the Nekuda, what you're really saying is the Vilsta Welt on the Meibishten. You don't want Dira Lo Yisbarach. The Vilsta, this world should be a world where, even if maybe you believe in God, but God who's distant from the world, a God who exists to support us. In other words, a God that exists so that we can have a life, instead of our reality being part of his reality, which is what Yidden believe in, that we are here, this is the Eibishter's project, this is him, and we're here to reveal him. And those who want that are embracing, and those that Chas v'Shalom are rejecting, are now, after this has been so clearly displayed, those that are standing up and sympathizing with Hamas and so on and so forth, is mamish like, it's the final choice. The Welt has been given the choice to side here or to side here. Again, that's what I took out when I saw the Sikha, but I thought it was very, very powerful, this idea of Yiddish Gufim, Nuvanu Bakarta. It's just a kitzur. Learn the Sikha.
Yeah. No, today's Hayom Yom. Development with the Zeit.
Yeah.
So first of all, also, so let's go weiter. So that was the recap, I think, and it's a good thing. I think we should commit to learn Bechavrusa or Chabura, at least a certain amount of Nonalef and Beis, Tzava Shah. I think it will remind us in the sense of our in the sense we have to hear the what's it called from the commander. No, we have to right now we have to hear the pekudot from the mefaked. So let's do this. I think for a little bit. Does everybody agree? I have the Nun Basic of Parshas Neach pulled up.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Mandy, if you're able to give me the ability to share the screen, I'll share my screen.
Should be there all the time.
We have to before we sign off. We have to get a speaker for the next week or 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, was that
On the Yom Iyun, to remember what's happening with the Yom Iyun.
Yeah. Okay, is that this? Yeah. Okay, we'll start from the beginning. We'll work right through. Then we'll do a minimal translation, just in at the times where I think it's needed. It's not a very long sikha. I think we could possibly even get through the whole thing. Yeah. Weiter. Shabbos Parsha Neach is Shabbos Klalis. The Yesa HaShabbos HaRishona Shebei Nishlemes HaAveda the Sheshes Yemei HaMaisa Shala Achrei Shabbos Bereishis. Bereishis started without the world being complete. This is the first Shabbos where the entire world is complete. Same with Chesed Maya de Chodesh Tishrei Shala Achrei Zeh Maschil Ikar Aveda Ba'olam Shamayim Va'aretz V'chol Tzva'am Kemudgash B'Shem HaParsha Noach Miloshen Menucha Naicha Derucha Shehu Bechinas Shvisa. Right? This is the Noach, the Eibishter in the sense has done his part, hands it over to us. Now the Rebbe will explain. Me'atayimim lekach Shabbos Bereishis the Shabbos Klolis Kibiska Rabbeinu Nisiyenu v'Mishtotzach Shabbos Bereishis as a gate ganze Yar Hanhaga the Shabbos Bereishis Nimshocha b'Chol Hashena Kivan sheminei Mizbarchim Kol Yomim Kol Yemei Hashvua Harishena Shvua Rishon la'aveda b'Poel ba'Elam Shabbai Kululim Gam Yemei Hashvua Dechol Hashavuos Shebemeshech Hashana. That in the first week has in it b'chlolos everything. The Shabbos Bereishis is the Shabbos Kodesh. B'chol Shvua Chayzrim v'Nishnim Eisam Shiva Yomim Yom Rishon Ad Yom HaShabbos. That the Eibishter that was Nichlal in the Ma'aseh Bereishis of Shabbos Bereishis. Shiva Simei HaHekef HaKelim Kol Meshech HaZman. ומזה שגם Shabbos Noach היא Shabbos Kodesh. יויסה השבס הראשונה שבו נשלמת העבודה ד6 ימי המעשה, דשבוע ראשון, שכולל כל השבועות שבמשך השנה, לכן מודגש בכלל העניין השבס שענייני מנוחה נח Neicha derucha shvisa kadam hashavos memlachte. So the Shabbos Bereishis is the Shabbos Klal because that's the Shabbos where the work was done. Shabbos Nayach is also close to the Shabbos because it's the first Shabbos of Nach. Yeah, and Nimsa Shabbos Bereishis kalas aved the kol yimei hashvua b'chol hashana k'fi shehi b'koyach v'Shabbos Parshas Nayach la'achrei aved b'peil mamish b'peil b'meshach sheshes yamei ma'aseh kelelis or mahava even haboichin la'aved the kol yimei hashavua b'chol hashana k'fi shehi b'peil. So Shabbos Bereishis is the close of the putting everything into place. Shabbos Nayach is the close of actually doing what needs to be done. יש דבר הקשר והשייך גם לטכניקה של פרשת השבוע מעניינים המשותפים לפרשת בראשית ונח שבהם מודגש הסופו והמיילה שבפרשת נח לגבי פרשת בראשית. In it we will see an advantage of פרשת נח. When we compare the two, there will be an advantage פרשת נח even on פרשת בראשית. בריאס וקיום העולם שבפרשת בראשית מסופר עדס בריאס העולם בראשית ברא אלוקים את השמיים והארץ אלה תל השמיים והארץ בעיבודם. ובפרשת נח מסופר עדס ההבטחה והשבוע על קיום Oy kol yemei haaretz lo v'geimer leishbeisu. Zais eis habrisa she'ani neisen b'ni v'nechem l'deris olam as kashti nasati ba'anan v'haisa leishbris b'ni v'nein haaretz. Bereishis is the actual doing of the world. Nayach is the commitment for the kiyum of the olam. U'me'achilukim she'b'neihem. Parshas Bereishis meduber aidei shleimas ha'olam al milui nivra k'fi she'mitzad briyasei aidei hakadosh baruch hu v'lechein k'sha'olam yored mimadrigasei k'fi she'tzarich niyas mitzad ritzayin hakadosh baruch hu v'yochel yiskim ha'olam. Right, that's the Eibusha sets a caliber, and to a certain degree we can't make that caliber cannot be maintained. Super safe Bereishis v'yashem ki rabba ra'as ha'adam ba'aretz v'yinachim Hashem v'yim Hashem emcha. U'Parshas Nayach meduber aidei shleimas ha'olam k'fi she'mitzad God, but matzav yodod nitin koyach lebirur v'zichach ha'olam ha'idei tshuva. Bereishis is the way that will in perfection, and Nayach is the world in the rehabilitation, the way we can fix it, repair. V'lechein ba'anani anan al haaretz k'shetala b'machshot lefanai lahavi choshech v'ibadain la'olam v'nir'asa hakeshes ba'anan. Which, by the way, if everybody, the incredible rainbows have been showing up over New York. My sister was sending me pictures of that unbelievable rainbows, like they have never seen. Punkt this week. For the Yisrael is go bris olam. Show inyan hakrisas bris im noyach shayidei avedasei bebir v'zich ha'olam hatachten shetach namatim mimenu. Nasa naicha derucha shenishlam netzeni shal Kadosh Baruch Hu b'riyas ha'olam shenisavak Kadosh Baruch Hu liyas le'yizbarach divrach feinim. So another a deeper understanding of the word naicha, that the Eibusha sets the world on its pace and perfection and olam ha'milui nivra Bereishis, but that's a standard that can't be maintained. But when we come, even after the world gets broken, and Noach then rehabilitates the world and fixes the world in the way of Avedas Adam Lamata, then it brings about a naicha derucha, and that has kiyum, because the world can be repaired, it will be repaired, and therefore will never be beyond repair. Of a signan acher, beparshas Bereishis mudgash beikar ma'amad matzav ha'olam k'vi mitzad kavan al yena b'koyach. Beparshas Nech mudgash beikar ma'amad matzav ha'olam k'vi mitzad Avedas Adam b'poyel. שגם בעולם התחתון שיתח למטה ממנו ועד התחת הידידה מלא הארץ חמאס נעשה מימד ומצב של בירור וזיכוך ועד לטהרה עולם חדש רעה. a whole new paradigm, a world that is never beyond fixing. Over Oimek Yosef, Shayidei Ha'aveda B'Pel B'Parshas Noach, Nitaisef Ilui Godel Yosef L'Gabe Ma'im Matzav Shemitzara Bria Parshas Bereshis. Kimonobas B'Siyum of Chaisma Shal Parshas Bereshis Oides Ma'ilasi Shal Noach V'Noach Matzachim Be'Nei Havaya, revealing an element to the world that even Bereshis doesn't have. The Ma'ila of Noach that he Matzachim. Bria Adam Ksiv Bereshis Bara Elikim Esash Ma'im Varetz. Lama Beis Palmim. Elikim nema b'ma'aser bereshis. Kivan shebris ha'olam ha'yidei hi ha'yidei shem elikim shepirushay bal hayicheles or bal hakeches kulam. That's what elikim means. Shekoyal dargas elikos hashayeches la'olam elikim b'gmati ha'teva. V'gam mashin is bar b'hemshech ha'pasha b'yom asayis havaya elikim eretz hashemayim ha'izeh ba'even sheshem havaya mislabish u'misalam shem elikim. So elikim is the governing factor, the name of Hashem that is associated and the erech the world. Af shekayach ha'ishavos hu mishem havaya melashin mahave mikomakim ha'ishavos b'payil ha'idei ha'idei slabshus the shem havaya b'shem elikim shem havaya kayach ha'ishavos enei misgale b'hanivroim v'agiloi hu mishem elikim b'vad. So the entity, or rather the darga of elikus, the governing darga of elikus is elikim, even though that within it is the element of havaya. V'achidash ha'idei aveda the noach shematzachim be'enei havaya sha'idei zeh misgale ba'olam shenivra ha'idei ha'yislabshus shem elikim shem havaya shalamayla me'olam. So the Or Yashar was shem elikim. Noach's avodah of Or Chayzer was megale the shem havaya. Hanu shebemitzias ha'olam k'vi shenivra ha'idei shem elikim is gala shem havaya because of emes havaya la'olam. V'ad shenika begilei shehavaya hu ha'elikim shegam atzimsav hester elikim hu lamitasei shem havaya. That be'emes even from the get-go was shem havaya, even though it seemed that shem elikim was in charge. Shem elikim was the governing element. No, be'emes was always shem havaya. Almost like al derech what we're saying in Tanya lately. Agilu the shem havayim is gala v'chayda b'mitzias ha'olam shnivra ayidei shem elikim v'aznim shachas and gala daga nalis yosef b'shem havaya. Havaya was coming in disguise. Havaya was coming in disguise, but it was always there. Havaya del ela u'maisef v'helech be'ili achar ili k'mevor being in zayin pamim havaya hu elikim sha'imim b'sim v'chaysim tfilas ni'ila diem hakipurim. Yeshlema shenizah sheba'elam shenivra b'shem elikim is gala shem havaya menubas b'teichana shal pashas noach edus kimo elam b'ofen de lo yishbaisu v'habris de eskashti nasati ba'anon lo yishbaisu. So it's in these two commitments of the bris that Hashem made with Noach. Lo yishbaisu k'mevor kamim kemes shehanhagas ha'elam b'ofen timidi leloy shinoi v'hefsek k'mei hashemesh v'yerech l'gechol v'mchol ha'galgalim b'sivuvam hatmidi lo yishbaisu nikim es gala kech ha'ein seif shalamada mi'amadid v'agbala d'ba'elam k'min shvitzad medid v'agbala d'elam tzarich liyeh shinoi v'hefsek haylech v'nifsad. Right? The fact that lo yishbaisu, that the world will carry on without any type of attrition, that the sun and the moon and the stars will carry on, by the counter to what scientists say, that we believe that there is no, right, that the kiyum beish, that the sun, moon, and stars will be everlasting. There's a raya that is ani havaya loishon. That's why science can't handle it, because pashut al piteva, it's not.
Cinder, I don't hear you anymore. Anybody else not here, Cindy?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
We couldn't hear you for about 20 seconds. It may have been my side. Continue.
No, we heard.
Okay.
So I think
Okay, carry on. Carrying on? Yeah?
the Kashti. You're holding
Are
that's
we
the
on
first
board
thing.
with this, or should we?
That's the first thing. That's the lo yishbaisu. So what's the next thing?
Yeah. Veskashti nasati ba'anan. Sha'akeshes he mishtakfus karnei hashemesh ba'anan and shegam ha'anan ha'ila min ha'aretz ve'idiyala min ha'aretz nasa mizuchach ad shemishtaket by ha'ir the shemesh havaya. A rainbow is only the result of the sun piercing the clouds. If you don't have a cloud, or the cloud is opaque, you don't have a rainbow. But when you have the idea of a cloud, what seems to be a potential obstruction, and the light pierces through the cloud, at hastu a rainbow. So the whole paradigm that nothing, even the things that seem to be obstructions, can stand in the way of the revelation of Elikus. That's the entire concept of that makes the point of what the nature of the world. The basing on eluk shurim zelazeh. Shekim alim mudgash ayidei hakeshes. Kvarshkos zayse bris asher hakimaisi beinu vein kol basar asher la'aretz. Shaba merumas shemitzius shebmitzius shall kol basar asher la'aretz nikar mizgala kaychapel shemachayim mahavayse. Shezeu inyan shemavayim melashen mahave. Father shemavayim shall mayla meha'ilam. Haya havaya haya hayva v'yiyah ke'echad. Shem ha'etzem, that everything in this world, not just the tzaddikim and not malachim or whatever it is, dafki, even the lowest of all creations, will not only be megala, the shem, the elikus shebeseicham, but the shem havaya shebeseicham, the shem ha'etzem, v'ad kecha atzmu shebeshavos me'ayin liyesh, me'ashem mechusei v'atzmusei shal ha'matzel baruch hu, shemetziusei hu me'atzmusei, ve'ein olo me'eze ila, shekon malechas v'shal, nechein hu levadi b'kecha v'yichote, livra yesh ma'im v'asa mochad mamish, dafke a nivra more than anything else has the ability to be megala shem havaya, because it takes atzmos and mohos to create that nivra. So the element of atzmos is in the nivra, and if the nivra becomes durchsichtig, it becomes transparent, and then what will shine through is not some level of elikus, it will be atzmos alein. Shenikra b'hayesha gashmi davke shemitziusei. And the Rebbe didn't say dafke. Shenikra b'hayesha gashmi shemitziusei he hayesh hamiti. Weitergefahren?
Yeah, for sure. The next one, hey, for sure.
Yeah, v'yesh lo heitzef she'ilei shenatza idei avoda bepoil b'parshas Noach legabe hamaynu matzav shebahaskalas parshas Bereishis merumas beparshas Lech Lecha shemaschilin nikrei betfilas mincha d'shavas parshas Noach b'siyum shivas yimei hakef the hashavua harishon avoda ba'olam. That so we have the connection, the bridge to Parshas Lech Lecha, which we'll be reading by Mincha. Will be the bookend to this first parsha of the Avodah, and we get to Lech Lecha. Lech Lecha meir alicha amita shi bein areich. That to really be lech lecha, to lech, it can't be that you have any connection or any relation to the place where you're leaving, because then it's not true halicha. So we're talking about a halicha that's be'ein areich. You have to truly journey away. Right? Not the line I will show you. I will show you. Your true self. The inyan bezeh shayidei aved b'payal ba'elam hatachtem is galam mitziyosei amiti shel kol echad ve'echad mitzral sheb'chol ma'im matzav kam yesei ba'elam yored hariu kosher u'me'uchad emelikus v'loy oid al shayidei avedasai mevarer mesachach l'sa'elam or mamshich u'megala elikus ba'elam. That Lech Lecha, I will show you your truest potential by you achieving what you can achieve here. I said, I'm reading again. Sorry. Shemizgala amita ze inyan da achlas havaya shavaya hu elikim. That nishna hebt men sich off to our fullest potential, but sagen that man hebt off the elikus to its fullest potential. That havaya hu elikim shagam shem elikim shakosher brias ha'elam mitziyosei hamitis he shem havaya. So the man ha'elam, that be'emes, not to throw off the disguise of shem elikim to reveal the shem havaya, but to reveal that the disguise of shem elikim is also Shem Havaya. The be'emes, it's not a disguise or a Helen Behester klal. It is actually itself Shem Havaya. Weiter.
Well, we still have to discuss the next speaker and the Yom Ion, right? We're still on with the Yom Ion, I hope.
Yes. Okay, so do we pause here and let everybody else finish the sikha? Either way, I'm for doing something like this. It doesn't have to be this, but I think it's ma'ached us in learning, and I think again it's important to again listen to the pekudim of the mefakid, pekudot, I guess. Anyway, so I vote that this happens weekly. Again, otherwise, unless there's a scheduled Verbringen, and then the Verbringen is a Verbringen. Yeah, we could continue, but to your point, Isaac, Shaila is what do we double down on the Yom Iyun right now, or and continue with that, and
I
really
had a
get
little
back
bit
to
of a
it?
different thought. I think almost that an evictio event now would be far more achievable and far more powerful in terms of getting everybody on board than a Yom Iyun. People are in a state of Hashem should help us. You know, it's I feel almost like we don't know my Yulad Yom, but again. I haven't seen that tried that everybody is misachet chevra medaf shrayim from Mashiach yet.
One minute, one minute. I'm sorry for interrupting. I think Adra, first of all, we did that. I think since everyone's looking for something to hold on to, why don't we bring out this whole point of the Rebbe's Giyaz Mangolaskim, the whole message? I don't see it being shouted from the rooftops.
I know the Giyaz Mangolaskim in general that the Nevuah at the time of the redemption, the Father living the time of redemption is not.
Some Beit Hamaskabel.
That's what Zusha said last week. We have to bring the Rebbe's message of Geula, but that how are we going to do that other than people delivering that message through videos and so forth? How do we create a unison thing? You're talking about it doesn't have to be Nat Lubavitch. No, I'm saying I'm just wondering where to bring this message right now to the people, which I think is the most crucial thing. Where do we what should be our pool in it? Zusha said last week, everybody make videos. I gave some shiurim on that line, but that's just I don't have a big listenership that's necessary over here. We need to create stuff. We need to get stuff out there.
I want to put something forward. I want to put something forward on this because I'm thinking about it. At risk of sounding cynical, but rather trying to be, in a sense, ruthlessly pragmatic, we put out an eviction event and run into two potential things. And I have a response. I have a approach to this. So it's not just Tamazay Tzavaf and Kaltavasa. In fact, it's Fakert. Two things is, and I think the reason why you don't hear more Chevre, even outside of Lubavitch, is because the concern of kind of sounding opportunistic. We found a tragedy, we're going to jump on it, and we're going to push our agenda here. And again, I'm saying I'm being very callous and ruthlessly pragmatic because I have a point.
Someone in on me. Start again. What did you say right now?
I said the concern that people have about the optics of jumping on a tragedy and pushing an agenda. Number one.
Yes.
Number two,
yes.
We have, remember Rabbi Reisman. Rabbi Reisman did not want to join the Uvikshu because he says, what's going to happen? We're going to die, and Mashiach's not going to come, and it's going to break hearts. Yeah.
Yes.
And be machlish emunah. And so I think if we did again like a Yom Tefillah for the Gula, that right now we can't be in Gullus any longer, right?
And if it
then
doesn't
you're
happen,
going to have a lot of the Rabbanim that are going to come and say, the Klal Yisrael is hurting right now, and we want to, and because of their concern, because of Sveikas and Amunah, that the Taki Mashiach might not come on the other end of it. That they're so the shaila is, I think, in general, instead of just a tefillah and a bakasha for the Gula, this is more like a tzav gius. It's a call to arms. Tefillah, mitzvah, tzedakah. This is not simply we're throwing up our hands and say Eibush Terativit.
Yeah, okay.
This is about getting Yidden together to commit. In these times, we've all seen that Gullus is unacceptable. Let's take definitive steps to march to the Gula. In other words, this is more like a call to spiritual arms, a global call to spiritual arms. Ladies and gentlemen, Gullus, enough is enough, and it's not simply we're throwing up our hands and say, "Bishter, pull us out of whatever it is," but rather a call, an empowering call. We're going to come together and we're going to daven, of course. But we're also all going to hear inspirational speakers, and I think you could turn to a speaker and say, a guy, even like Rabbi Reisman said, this is not stamazei tefillah labakasha. This is you have a platform now. Talk to the Yidden about what you feel is necessary that we have to do to make sure that we're not stuck in Galus here. And that is a chakale b'chol yom sheyovel, right? A chakale, and we say, what does a chaka mean? A chaka means a proactive. And I think we use the lashon. As we say, almost a call to arms. Maybe the people don't like the violent reference to arms. Maybe find another way to say it. But I think a global a call to action, a global call to action that we're all feeling right now that something needs to be done. That this massive cannot stay. We can't sit by idly.
And it's also not, we're not pointing to this particular event and saying that this is it. It's just the continuation of Jewish suffering is something that must stop. And we can do something to stop that by doing things that are going to activate the Geula. And, we're not waiting for, and so what is that? This is what we're getting together for.
So I think again gonna get the people on it. I think we have to revive and so first of all, what's everybody's thought on this? Because I think it's the concern of just doing another Uvikshu event, another Yom Tefillah, as it were. Again, is the concern that we've done this. And we turned to the Eibishter and we cried out, and Mashiach didn't come that very moment. And unless you're a chassid of the Rebbe, that a soldier of the Rebbe, this has an effect on people. This has an effect of being machlish, and people are going to be nervous to once again push and advocate. And I don't mean it about it, but I think we have to. The question is, if we're going to be realistic, to shift to the practical of this, the practical aspect of this. How I don't see right now. I think we have an opportunity that everybody is primed. Everybody is primed. If nothing else, everybody wants to do something. Everybody feels like they want to be something, and there's nobody's putting forward. Here's what we're going to do as world Jewry. So I think very quickly, with a couple, prepared ads or whatever it is on the big thing, we can get a quick buy-in. Again, last time we were up, it was when we did the Uvikshu, it was a relatively random time, as it were. And there was also the other events or whatever it is jockeying for that placement. Here, I think. Until I see otherwise, I haven't seen anything where there's a global call for some sort of event. I think we can do it. I think if we got the information out quickly, we just picked the date and we said
let's sharpen that message. What is the call? The call is that Jewish people should get together, and we're
a united call.
It's almost like Yidden Laman Hagiyula. Is that what it is?
Yeah, a call to action.
It's not that but a call to action for the Geula.
Right. Yes. Correct. A call to action.
To learn about it.
Is there
time to make the case? Why should we learn about Geula? I can wait. I wait for Geula. Every time there's a tzara, okay, we'll scream and then we get weiter. I think
definitely. So learning is part of it, but right now to create an event just learning about Mashiach is
no.
It doesn't have the alarming element to it. We need to cash in on the alarm, but at the same time, we don't want to get into the hysterics that we're crying out to the Eibishter, there's a nuclear war happening tomorrow, save us, and if the Geula doesn't come and we're back in whatever. So there is. Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. Let me just finish. As I'm saying, the first part can be Teretz Tefillah Tzedakah, and the second part, what we do is to try to understand like you were explaining in your shir, what's this whole picture? Now, to look at everything a bird's eye view. How do we get people to do that? In other words, everything that happens is part of the process, obviously, but they don't know that. They don't know that the Rebbe is telling us to look at it in the golden way. How do we put that in basis that people should understand how to take that to their daily lives? That's what I think should be.
So the shaila is, if we do, and it's not a long, If it's not a long event, I think, by the way, I think if we do this, it's a half an hour event. I think we put it on there as a half an hour event. We're coming together, half an hour, quickly does, for those who come, could take it or leave it. You don't have to come. But we're doing a global, we're doing a moment where Rabbanim or whatever it is going to speak. What is it that we can definitively do? This situation has taught us that Gullus is absolutely unacceptable. We need to be taking steps towards the Geula. We all need to be taking steps towards the Geula. The call to action, a march to Geula, or whatever it is. How do we march to Geula? So, and I think we can turn to the various Rabbanim.
How many Rabbanim are you
And we
going
can-
to have speaking for 5 minutes? If you're talking about a
Yeah,
half an
right.
hour event.
Yeah, and I actually think that that's fine. If instead of having a lot of speakers, I think to a certain degree this could be short and powerful. And first of all, because if it's going to happen right away, it needs to be something that we can pull off quickly. And so we need a couple names of a couple of rabbanim that we can immediately call up and tell them we're doing this and we'd like you to just record a 5-minute video. And I think one of the last, and because we can manipulate this, one of the last rabbanim will be one who talks about coming together to learn in Yonah Mashiach. And that would be teeing up the next Yom Iyun. You can almost say like organically. You know what would be an amazing thing? If the next time Klal Yisrael gets together, we would be getting together to study Mashiach. To study about Mashiach. Like a Yom Iyun from Mashiach is almost organically results. Like how the whole Shabbos project or the Chalabek, one of the other, I think the Shabbos, the Chalabek phenomenon resulted organically from the Shabbos project, or the Shabbos project resulted from the Chalabek. There was like one phenomenon that immediately birthed the next phenomenon. And so the question is whether it's because the other concern here is we're just going to keep on coming up with great ideas. We have a laundry list full of great ideas, and none of them are going to get done. And this one, if we think right now, maybe we'll come up with and I think again, I think for example, and I do believe, let's say you get somebody, a big Rav from Eretz Yisrael, maybe. I think now, for example, if you get if somebody has a Shlomo Amar or something, because Eretz Yisrael immediately is.
But I think Shlomo Amar is very not. It's in the regular Flatbush, Muncie, Lakewood world. Shlomo Amar is nobody. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't speak.
Right. No, I'm saying is
more
maybe
like a
Rabbi
more
Lau,
like
but
a
I'm
Rav
saying
Zilber. You know,
somebody from Eretz Yisrael that everybody's right now very sensitive about.
yeah.
So people that necessarily would not listen to Rabbi Lau, but now, Eretz Yisrael, the chief rabbi of Eretz Yisraal, everybody, something like that. If we can,
I think someone more.
Not one person. We get 4 or 5 rabbanim to talk for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I really think the one who was considered the big paisik there that I mentioned last time, Rabbi Weiss, should be definitely one of them.
In Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah.
Can he be gotten?
He was ready to talk. What's his name? Ashkenazi, remember?
No, but that's we don't need Ashkenazi. We need people that are more central to the Jewish people as a whole.
Rav Ashkenazi, you mean the Rav of Krachabad?
No. The big speaker.
Are you saying the speaker, the Redner?
Yeah,
I'm saying because if it's a Rav.
Yeah, but that's just Lubavitch.
Right. So let's say I get on the phone. I'll see if I get on the phone with as much like the one I had a yachas with the Moshe Tuvia Leaf, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that let's see
that's
if we
a name. That's
a
name for American Jewry. It's a name. It's not the most powerful name, but it is a name.
No. So let's see. How quickly can we get some powerful names?
Moshe Weinberger is definitely up there. Tuvia Leaf. Let's take people that are easier and we know we can get. If we can get Rabbi Weiss from Eretz Yisrael, Rabbi Moshe Tuvia Leaf, and Rabbi Weinberger, you already have 3 powerful names.
And what about we get Vihester? We had it like last time also on the Uvikshu.
I think the Yanuka is a shtickle name.
But it's hard to get.
But the question is whether you can get. Whether you can get the Yanukah.
He keeps on talking about Gula. You can take one of his things and
We don't want to take. We want them to address this.
It doesn't stop. I'm saying it doesn't stop talking about Gula.
I know that.
So you can take one of his previous already. Ask permission to take them. You got your Nuka.
Who has
play
a
around?
connection?
We
Who
want
got-
people that are really addressing over here. But to a certain degree, I really feel that it would be stronger in this particular case that it's actually alive, that they're actually addressing the people online. Because making a video.
I hear that, but I think most people assumed that when they were watching it live, and they had assumed that it was just incredibly well coordinated.
Okay.
And I think we can play to that. We can whoever is emceeing the potentially have an MC who says, now we're going to hear from so and so, and we're hearing from that person. Doesn't so the video is made a little bit before, but I think the point is we do this. We call this. We pick the date that we call this for. Let's say.
What?
No, but that's already telling people that this is the time, and a lot of people are afraid of that. So that's exactly what Sandy is saying.
Hold on. Let's understand this. So why did the Rebbe tell this 30 years ago? Let's understand this. If we're afraid to say it, who's going to say it?
No. It's not about we're afraid to say it. If you want to get them to say it.
No, we want to bring out this point that there was an union of that the Rebbe told the world by the first Gulf War. Adrabi, you could connect it to the war. He said it by the war. This is 10 times.
But part of the people's resistance is exactly that. I've heard, like I spoke on the share. I've heard it once. I've heard it twice. Every time something happens, you're telling me again, Mashiach. In other words, what Sandy is saying is that we're not asking people to believe or to say that this is the Geula. What we are bringing over here is that we're all and that our existence in Golus has already expired. It's enough. We want to do something. We want to call. So what are the steps we are taking right now to work to the Geula? The Geula should come.
But again, but we understand it. The question is, hold on, let me just finish this. We understand it. How do we get this understanding to the world? That's what I'm saying. Why should they miss out? Why should they think that the Geula is just like before the Geula 50 years ago? How do we get them? That's exactly my point. Why is it that they should miss out on the excitement or whatever it is that we're understanding it, the way we understand it, right? The way the Rebbe told us, right? But we're not giving that message to them. Let's try to find Isis. Doesn't matter. We can crack our head. We can find Isis. The way to give it. What? No. No. I'm saying my thing. Do whatever you want. I'm just saying what I think.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay. So for that to happen, if you want to have people like Chase Taub and Yossi Jacobson that are willing to go on and make a public event and speak this message, then at least we have something to work with. You can't expect the Rav and Eretz Yisrael to make this message.
So why did you get
who's going to
Chase
make
Taub?
this message? They're not. I don't know. If you think you can get them, if you think they can come and give the Rebbe's message, they have a voice. If these people can come and actually say that message,
I think so.
100%. But I don't know.
So I do know. So who knows Chase Taub? What? No. What? No. What are you afraid of?
Okay, right.
I don't know Chase Taub. I'm just saying, why don't we get Chase Taub to speak? He'll be the last speaker. You get older Veltasha, and you have one guy by the end. He'll speak about this thing. If I'm a skabel,
I don't disagree, Isaac. I don't disagree that somebody actually could talk there and make that point very clear and strong. Let's have somebody. Everybody gets to talk about their thing. Fine, Chase Taub. It could be. But the point is, I think what we are saying, the hook here is every one of us is at a point right now. We're all ready to do something definitively. We're ready to be called to action. Point us in a direction. We all understand that that complacency is no longer acceptable. We all got to be doing something in this battle of Cheshech and Oir and the Gula Shlema. Find somebody who's quick, somebody Chabad, whatever it is, to whoever it is that's good at marketing, and to make this point, give us the lashon. Label, you're here. Maybe you help coalesce this idea that we're not saying we want to just simply throw up our hands and say God save us, but we're saying and bring us to Gula. We're saying Hinanu ve'olinu, right? Let's we're gonna get, we're the light bringers. We're bringing the Geula. All right, and obviously the lashon, the Rebbe is that we're mekabel the Geula. But the bottom line is this: we are going to respond to this finsternish with a commitment to bring the Geula, or whatever it is. This is the tzavashah. This is the tzavashah and I think every so I was saying, give each Rav, tell every Rav 5 minutes on what you feel in this moment when everybody wants to do something to get us out of Gullus. What is that? Talk for 5 minutes, inspiring, empowering
You should know
everybody.
that itself is a chiddush to many people, is that Klal Yisrael has to do it. We're not just waiting for it to happen. It's the Eibishter himself.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
After that episode, to learn about it. There's so much lack of understanding of what we have to do now. Okay, whatever.
Without a question. But I think in that the Rebbe has managed to instill in this generation that it is incumbent on our action. I think that there is that at least subconsciously, organically, people know that we have to bring Mashiach. So I think we'll find the right lashon. But what a call to action. What can we all do to march to end this bitter gullus? Or something along those lines.
Cindy, did you see the chat? Someone has suggestions.
Did not really say no. 1 second. Okay, call to action to Hazen the Gola.
You can abbreviate it, call to Hazen the Gola.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. So maybe we say, but I think we can tug on that heartstring. I think we say a call to action to end this bitter gullus and hasten the geula. And I think which again, we're not saying that by the end of this tefillah, Mashiach's not here, and if he's not here, we failed. No, we're saying we're coming together, and we're going to hear from Jewish leaders on what it is we can do to get ourselves out of this terrible gullus and into the Gula.
Can we come up with some names? We came up with I think 3-4 names now. We don't want a lot of people. We want but powerful names to be on that.
Who was this again? I was trying to remember. Who was it? Spoke in Yiddish. I'm blanking on his name. Chassidische.
Oh, he would be great.
Biderman.
Melech.
But isn't it hard to get him also?
Very hard to get him, but I don't know. He might also be willing to jump on something like this.
Where the conservative and the reform are they also saying Mashiach? I mean, I've seen other things, like Sukkah happening with. No, I didn't see any clips.
Right now that
now they're doing the same. Now they're into Sukkah. I just saw something like a reform.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're getting there. Okay.
Mandy Rubenfeld, stop the recording for a second.
Okay.